All right, welcome back to this week's Premier. One of these weeks I'll get it right. Premier Racing League Week in Review. I'm Cameron Arndt, driver of number three.
Dakota Nichols, driver of the 24.
And James Jackson, driver of the 29.
I think we're going to start out with some short recap over the All Star race at Twin Ring. Really fun race. We had a couple changes there going into the race. Ended up being a three stage race with three different winners across those. So we had Dakota winning the first stage. Then we had Brandon Hare winning the second stage, and then I won the overall race. Um, Not to say that Miguel wasn't up there; he was leading laps too. We had all four of us led laps, and I think we had something like 15 lead changes in that race.
How did it all go, guys? I know a lot of us weren't able to attend, so I know it was an even smaller field than we're used to. But like, was the racing good?
I think
Yeah.
it was both way. It went both ways. The beginning of the race was a little bit tougher, just because it was a lot hotter in that probably beginning 50s or so laps. But once the sun kind of went down, those last 25 laps, I know me and Brandon, we were practicing in those kind of conditions on Friday, and so once we got to those conditions during the race, we were blazing fast and just those last 15 laps, it was a shootout between me and him. We were both throwing haymakers at each other, and it was a lot of fun.
Oh, good deal. So, as you pulled off the win, does that what do you think translated to that? Was it just you putting in the most time there, or was it like IRP esque? Like what got you the dub?
I think part of it was just me and Brandon practiced a lot, and so we were both kind of had a feel for the track there at the end. And I'd be remiss if I didn't say that Dakota had internet issues, and so he had to drop out about halfway through the race. So that kind of helped a little bit. But yeah, I think it's just me and him just kind of knew where the limits were, and so we were pushing it real aggressively for those last 15 laps.
Couldn't have dropped out at Richmond, Dakota, when I was chasing you down.
No, so this is what was funny. My internet box got unplugged mid race.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
That's not internet issues. That is wow.
Yeah, he was struggling with the internet for a little bit, so I wonder if it was half unplugged or something for the first half of that race, and then he just
Had to
disappeared.
be.
And we're like, oh, well, he's gone.
Had to be. It happened last night too. I led the first like 50 laps at Las Vegas, and then boom, everybody disappears, and I disconnect. So
That's me at Dover in the FNX, man. Everyone's kind of blinking, and then everyone goes away and ruins my strat. So been there, done that. Got the T-shirt. If there's anything else from the All Star race we want to cover, or do we want to just bring in our first?
yeah, I will say just for the guys that have been racing with us this year, and anybody who plans on racing next year, the All Star race is going to be a track most people have. We kind of messed up with that this time. Um, so well, we should have a lot better All Star like series since all that good stuff moving forward. So
Cool,
that
cool.
is all.
Alrighty. Well, let's start off here with the playoff standings. What we're looking at going into Bristol. Uh, I think I said it last week. I know I said it in private, but Dakota, it looks like you're gonna be all right, barring some kind of internet not letting you jump in, or maybe a nap running too long.
Yeah, I think as long as I show up, obviously you want to win all the races you show up to, but I think if I can just show up, I should be good for at least right now.
Did we lose Cam?
I'm
No,
back.
he,
I misclicked. Accidentally left the stream.
Your camera's not on, so let's. He's just showing up my weird Discord thing on the stream. So, but I guess without further ado, if we're ready, we can bring in our first guest, rolling off P8 to start the playoffs.
All
7
right, I'll
points
bring him
behind
in
the
here.
cut line, Mr. Brandon Hare.
Hey, how you doing, Brandon?
What's up, bud?
So
I'm
how
good.
you feeling going into the playoffs here?
Well, I always dreamed of being the eighth person in the first round of the playoffs.
Well, we're here to make dreams come true, Brandon.
Wildly average, but hopeful. I'll say that.
You've definitely had pace all year, so I mean, you're not you didn't back in by any means.
It's just long runs, staying at the level that just say the top 3 or 4 are at. Y'all have made it really hard, which is a good thing. It's something to, you got to learn, you got to get better at. If you want to, if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best in this league. So I really do enjoy that part of it.
Yep. I know that this year you've been really fast at a lot of tracks, but not quite able to have it come together. What do you think? Um, is that one thing that you think you have to work on coming into the playoffs here to maintain that pace throughout the race to get to the homestead?
Well, I was trying to like actually look up, sort of where I finished because it's all kind of a blur. But just like at Motegi, me and you had a good run going on, and I would be fast, but it just seems at the end of the race I always do something to screw it up, or some of it's just bad luck, dude. I had like 3 or 4 races where I couldn't hold my head right, getting cleaned
Fun.
out or something like that, but or
I
me
know
screwing
that
myself up.
I know that at Motegi, it was really. I thought that was probably your most complete race you've had all year because you were very fast all race, really up there competing with Dakota even before he dropped out. And then there at the end, I mean, it was just you were just throwing haymakers the entire time. And it was just going to be whoever made a mistake first. And I mean, I don't really think either of us really made a mistake there.
Well, really wish I wouldn't have went into the wall at 1,000 mile an hour at the end there. So I don't know what I was
Yeah,
thinking. I just got my quarters mixed up. But
yeah, it
no,
was that was definitely a comedic aspect of that whole night.
yeah, I mean it's some tracks I'm not great at. Darlington was rough, all race long for me really. Um, I don't know. I've had better days than like you said. I can't put together complete races. It seems at the end I always find a way to screw it up, or somebody else does it for me.
So as we head into Bristol, Watkins Glen, and Phoenix, uh, what do you think is your strength? Like best track you're gonna have, and then uh, what are you worried about?
Well, you can count me out for Watkins Glen. That is a non-starter for me. I hope a top 5 at Watkins Glen is gonna just be enough. But I've been practicing Bristol. I know that's kind of gonna be Dakota's playground with it being a short track, but I really hope I can just be competitive there. I mean, my practice laps have looked good. Phoenix, I'm decent at Phoenix. I need to practice it a little bit. I haven't ran it in a while, but I like Phoenix too. So it's I don't know. I'm confident those 2 tracks. To be honest, Watkins Glen is just gonna be just gonna be me holding on for however many laps it is.
Yeah, I mean you're only 7 back from me and Griffin in third, fourth place, so it's not like you have to be world beater the next 3 weeks. You just need a little bit of luck, and obviously Jackson's going to be the guy to beat at Watkins Glen, and he's going to make up some of that gap he's got. But I mean, I think you're still in the running here, and if you feel confident at those 2 tracks, I think that's a good start for you.
Yeah, Griffin's gonna be. Griffin has just come on pretty hot here lately. Uh, it might be a mix of Dakota's internet being garbage or what, but Griffin is just he's been peeling them off here lately.
Now his stats are ridiculous. I don't have them right in front of me, but I think the last 5, his worst finish is like 6th.
Hmm
with 2
Mhm.
wins. So yeah, there's nobody hotter right now than Griffin.
My teammate, I'm gonna call him my teammate, but Cam leaving me alone at Talladega. I could have got that one. Old Cam trying to be selfish up there.
Hey, don't make it look like you're gonna wreck. That's all I'm gonna say.
Nah, Griffin's been lights out.
Yep.
Well, Brandon won't toot his own horn, but I'll toot it for him. We're moving into Bristol here, and I've won a lot of races at Bristol. I think across the 4 leagues, I've won 6 of the last 7 across all those. But Brandon's out qualified me in 4 of those, so he's definitely one to look for there.
It's just gonna be Bristol. I need actually, now that we're talking about it, I need to get on there, do some long runs, see what it's gonna be when when the car's not optimal, because I can throw together two really good laps, but and God forbid pit road has just been my arch enemy. Oh my God, that's
You
been
want to
my
caution when you
nemesis.
have to pit.
Yeah,
Yes.
I've been putting together track guides for my dad every week, and I'm like, I run a practice pit run, and I'm like, you're gonna lose 5 laps if we pit under green, so we need yellows, yellows for pit
Yeah.
Yeah.
stops, or else you're praying the cycle goes all the way through.
Well, I just get so I don't know. I miss pit road under green more times than I've ever made it. I'll just blow right by it every time, and that kills me. I think that's what happened last time I was at Bristol. Actually, I qualified 1 or 2, and then it was just first pit stops, just blow right by it twice.
Oh,
That's it's a little bit me being unprepared, or a lot of it me being unprepared, and you can't make those mistakes when you have the top 5 as close as it is and as good as they are. You just can't do it. It makes for a long day.
all right. Unless anyone else has anything for you, we'll get you out of here on this. Obviously, you can pick yourself. Who's your championship for as we head into the start of the playoffs?
Oh man, let me get the schedule here out. I got it on my phone right here. See the schedule. Okay. Bristol, that's gonna be Dakota. Watkins Glen, I guess we're saying James on that one.
I'll take it.
Oh,
He's there in the
see,
last corner,
Yeah, watch your bumper
I'll
in the
tell you
last
what
corner.
I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go Cam. I think he's good enough at all tracks, and for some reason Dakota has this thing about Homestead that I'm not aware of, but I don't know if he's bad at it or if he has bad luck at it, but I think he's good enough at Watkins Glen to be competitive. If somebody, if these 2 road course ringers we got, if they, get it tied up with each other, as what y'all do at Sears Point or whatever it was, Sonoma, tied up on the last corner, I really think Cam has the best shot at being good at every track we go to.
I believe the phrase you used last week was competitive impotence or something like that. Is what Dakota's problem at
Yeah.
Homestead is. So
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know. And Dakota's never answered. Are you bad at it, or are you just have bad luck there?
I think it's both. I don't really think you can swing the bar either direction. I think I have bad luck there, and I think I'm not the greatest at it, and so they just both amplify each other.
he can't get away like he can at the short tracks, and then if he makes a
Exactly.
mistake, people are there to jump on it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Real true. I'm going with Cam, man. It's his league, and he's got that button right there. He's got all the hotkeys.
if he needs the yellow,
He's got all the
Yeah,
buttons.
dude, he's gonna,
If
oh,
he
I
needs-
slipped, guys.
if he needs to clear a black flag,
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Oh man.
all right. Well,
We need a race monitor.
well, unless anyone else has got anything for you, we do appreciate your time tonight, and we wish you good luck in the next 3 weeks as we get ready for set the championship 4.
Yeah, but appreciate y'all having me. Have a good show.
Thanks, bud.
Yep.
And I see Jackson is in the chat, ready to roll.
All right. I'll go ahead and drag him in. All right, we got our 7th seed here into the playoffs. We got Jackson Wade. How you doing?
Hello.
How you feeling here going into the playoffs?
Uh, Pretty confident that I can make something happen. Uh, yeah, pretty confident.
We got your stats.
Dare,
Oh, go ahead, Cam. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, dare I ask which track that you are feel the most confident at?
I mean, I think it's pretty obvious which one I'm the most confident at. It's definitely not. I'm not as confident as I would have been in the past. There's usually somebody near my bumper, it seems to be. Um, so you can't be totally confident, but I'm not confident that I won't win. I think I have a really good chance of winning at Watkins Glen. So I mean, we'll have to see how it happens, but Bristol comes first, so that's of the utmost importance.
Yeah, and I think with it not being winning in, it is points over the 3 races. You know, if it was the winning in, obviously you bank on Watkins Glen and you set your sight on that and nothing else. But you're only 4 points back, but you do need to capitalize at Bristol and at least maintain that 4 heading into what is clearly where you're going to be the heavy favorite at Watkins Glen to make up that entire deficit.
Yeah, I would agree. Winning you're in is definitely a big factor of not um, of it not going to be the same mindset. So Bristol, I mean, I just got to go and, like you said, get a good finish. But I think Watkins Glen is definitely where my mind is at right now, just because I'm gonna have to try and not have somebody near my rear bumper to make myself a little bit more confident.
Yeah, and I don't know how much you've tested on the new layout where the off tracks aren't as in effect, and um, just the curbs are different than even we ran at the FNX series, and the next gen car does not like those curbs, so it's not gonna be super straightforward like FNX was. It's gonna be you're gonna have to take care of it, but I think you're still gonna be far and away the heavy favorite.
Yeah, believe it or not, I'm actually, I know it's a shocker, but I'm in a test session right now with Watkins Glen, and it's different. I mean, it's definitely the same. It's the same track, so I mean, you drive it the same. You just kind of have to be more careful in areas that you would usually attack a little bit harder. So that's a bit different. But in reality, it's really not all that bad. So I feel pretty decent about being able to go into the same mindset and just kind of tweak how I run throughout the race.
Yeah, I think just a little sketchy in some areas like the bus stop and 6 out of 6. But
For sure. Yeah,
so
out of 6 coming to 7 is gonna catch somebody out. I mean, it's like you jump off of a cliff on the outside curb there.
yeah, no, that curb is aggressive, and if you're not straight when you land, it does not like it. Um,
Yeah.
so obviously the Glen is your strong suit, what you're looking forward to. Is there a track you're not necessarily afraid of, but weary of heading into this 3 run stretch?
Well, we've got what Bristol, Watkins Glen,
And
and
Phoenix.
then and Phoenix. I'm gonna go with probably Phoenix. I would be more wary of Phoenix rather than I'd be more concerned rather than just hesitant if Watkins Glen wasn't before it. Um, if I go into Phoenix at a deficit, I think I'm going to be in trouble because Phoenix has just never been my strong suit until recently. I've been able to do decent with the ARCA car, but I think we all know how different
Mhm.
these two cars are. So, I mean, I'd be interested to see how I do at Phoenix. I mean, I'm not going to have a winning car. I know that for sure. But I think Phoenix is going to be either damage limitation or just trying to get that one more spot on the final lap.
Dakota, Cam, got anything for Jackson here?
No, he's got some good talking points. I think if you asked me today, Jackson's probably going to win Watkins Glen. But I think he deserves more credit for the Bristol. You know, he's looking for a good finish at Bristol, but kind of like I said with Brandon, I mean, he hung on my bumper for a long time at Richmond, and Richmond's a little bit bigger than Bristol, but I think he's got a little bit more speed at a half mile than he thinks he does.
Appreciate that. We'll see.
Yeah, and like obviously what happened at Sonoma happened, but is there anything that surprised you about the season? Just your performance you had what 7 appearances and 5 top fives.
Ye- I would say the most surprising thing was going into this knowing that I was more confident and comfortable in a next gen car than any of the other cars in the service, but I was still finding myself lacking more pace than I thought I was going into the season. So that's what kind of caught me off guard the most. But if we're going race by race, I think Charlotte was definitely the thing that jumped out at me the most because obviously Dakota missed that race. But did not. I was unable to practice a ton. I mean I joined the practice session. I don't know however many minutes we got in the practice session. That's really all I got. I got like maybe 10 or 15 minutes before that. But then to just jump in and find some speed where up to that point of the season I had just been lacking, it kind of caught me off guard. So I'm hoping that, coming up in Homestead is I don't remember what the schedule is, but Homestead I don't remember us going to a big like oval after Charlotte unless it's like a super studio. I can't remember. But I'm hoping that something similar like that can happen at Homestead where I just find some pace where I didn't think I had any, and hopefully that'll put me somewhere up front.
Yeah, the best comp would have been Michigan, which I believe you missed.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then you missed Vegas too, which would have been the comp to Charlotte. So,
Yeah.
but
Just bad timing.
I knowing your ability in like Nazareth with your and just straight up Chicago land and Kansas, I wasn't totally surprised by you having speed at Charlotte. 160 out of 200 laps though. That was surprising.
Yeah, I mean, once I qualified on pole and got out there on that first stop, and I was pretty confident, but Griffin started catching me and actually gave me a run for my money um, while I was trying to like do the fuel saving and stuff. I was like, okay, you can go by me, lead a couple laps, I'll save fuel in your slipstream. But then I got up on the high horse on the wheels, and it took me about probably those 40 laps. He probably led the other 40 laps. So it probably took me about 20 laps or so to really be able to find a way around him. And in that moment, I was like, okay, hold on. I got to do something different. And then it was just a race from there on between us. So he definitely held me up to where I needed to be on that last, I don't know, 100 laps.
Yeah, I mean he never left you guys. You guys have never left each other's bumper for most of that.
Yeah.
So all right. What do you think? Obviously, you can pick yourself to be part of it. Who's your championship for?
Champ 4. I mean, it's a hard argument to not say us 4 guys in here. I mean, I think I can say with 100% certainty that Dakota will be in there. Um, I think Cam, you will also be in there. You're top of the board right now in playoff points, I believe. Is that right, or is it Dakota?
It's Dakota Cameron.
Dakota's P1.
Dakota Cam, yeah. I think you two will definitely be in there. I think it's gonna be a battle between myself and Griffin and James in that triangle. It could go either way. If Griffin has a bad race, I think James will be consistent enough to get in. If I can sneak past Griffin, and if I have a bad race, I think Griffin and I could go back and forth. But now that I talk about it more, I think James will be able to point to get a lot of good points and make his way in. And I think it'll be a battle between Griffin and I.
I feel very similar. I think it's going to depend on the 3 races that me, Griffin, and you have. Cam's, it's only 9 points, but show up and have
Cam's been
decent
consistent.
races, and that'll carry. So
Yeah, I think that's exactly what you have done, Cam and Dakota. I know you're probably gonna go out and be a threat at Bristol, so I have no doubts that you two can make it. But yeah, like I said, I think it's gonna be a good battle between the 3 of us, and yeah, I mean, gonna be a good show.
absolutely, brother. So, anyone else got anything for Jackson?
Nope, I'm
Nope,
good.
I mean, you've been great all season. I'm looking forward to seeing your performance in the playoffs here.
Thank you. I sneezed, but yeah, it's gonna be a good time.
All right, man. Well, appreciate you dropping in and spending some time with us tonight. And we wish you good luck. And hopefully, I'm right on your bumper coming out of 7 at Watkins Glen again.
I hope not.
That does happen. I hope I have enough fuel to be there to capitalize this time.
Right.
All right, bud. We appreciate you.
Thanks.
All right. I know Miguel is in the chat.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and drag him in. All right, so we've got our 5 seed here going into the playoffs here. Miguel Rodriguez, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
Doing well, Miguel. Glad to have you on.
Thank you.
Looking here in the playoffs, I know you've been one of the most consistent guys all year. P2 in regular season standings, just couldn't get that win to vault you up and more into the playoff standings here. So, how you feeling though going into the playoffs here?
I feel pretty good. Um, I think I should be. I'm confident in Bristol and in Phoenix. I feel like I get another like. I don't know if I'll get a win, but I feel like I'll be up maybe top 3, top 5 in both of those. But I am worried about Watkins Glen. Just I have trouble running road courses with these cars.
I was going to say 7 top 5s out of. You were one of the few that ran all 10 races, correct?
Yes, I ran all 10.
Yeah, so I know Sonoma was one of the non-top 5s, and I don't know. Is it just you don't do road courses, or?
I usually don't run them because this is my first time being in a league, so I usually don't run them when iRacing has them, just because it's just it's just not fun when everyone's just crashing.
Sure. Yeah, and then nothing worse than lap 1, turn 1, you're middle of the pack, and somebody cleans you out, and it's like, all right, well, that was a waste of an hour.
Yeah, so I think last time I did Sonoma, I practiced for like 45 minutes, went into a race, and think it was lap 2 I got taken out, and
Yeah.
that was it.
Well, you have been on the season one of the most consistent guys in the field, with a 5.2 average finish, 125 lap led. What do you need, man, to cross that threshold and get that first win?
I think I just haven't had time to practice that much. And then also I think it's just in some races I just do dumb mistakes, I guess. Like in Darlington, I had that that first gear restart
Oh yeah.
on that one, and then in um, I think it's just like pit strategy in Vegas. I was doing pretty good in Vegas, but I didn't practice that much, so I didn't know how fuel was gonna go. So my pit strategy was just off, and then practicing more, to be honest.
No, you've definitely shown a lot of speed at a lot of different places, and Vegas, you were flying that last bit. I had to block like my life depended on you to keep you behind me for P2 there. And then as we've talked about, you holding on to that P2 in the point standings by a point over me. Just a testament to your consistency all year long.
Yeah, and then that Indianapolis race, I did get um, I got messed up with the tire strategy too because we had that
Yeah.
little crash of pace lap, and I forgot to take off the tires, and I ended up taking rights on accident.
I hate that for you. That was a bummer. It was a really gutsy call to go for 2, and I thought about it too, and it didn't register on my end. And I'm really interested to see how well that would have worked for you if you had rights instead of lefts, because the lefts just didn't wear like the rights did.
Yeah, I think it could have been a lot different. I feel like it would have been a good strategy, but then I only had left, so it didn't go that good.
Now you've talked about being wary of Watkins Glen, and do you feel like the other two play into your strengths? I know you anticipate running better there than the Glen, but like, can you overcome the 3-point gap?
I think I can. I think I can run pretty good in Bristol. I'm mostly banking on Bristol to be the better of the three, and then Phoenix when I've played it, raced it, and when iRacing does it, I do pretty good. And yeah, so I think I can make it past to the championship four.
Yeah, I mean, I think you've been one of the most consistent guys all year, as James said. I mean, that's a testament to the fact that going into that last race, you were able to keep P2 in the standings. I know you wanted to get up there and compete with me for the regular season. I think we went into that race only -2 or -3 to me. Um, I know you wanted to be up there for that, but it's a testament to your consistency that even with having not a great race, or at least a race finish at Indy, you were still able to keep that second in the standings. So I mean, I guess my question would be here: how confident were you throughout the season? I guess more so toward the end of the season when me and you started to kind of become those kind of favorites for P1 and P2. How confident were you going into each race that you could maintain that consistency?
At the beginning of the season, I didn't know what to expect. This is my first league, so I was surprised that I was keeping up with you. So, and then towards the end, I was getting confident. Like when we went Charlotte, I thought I was gonna do better there. So I was hoping like Charlotte was gonna bump me up more, and then Indy, I was hoping to do better there too. So I was pretty confident going in, but it just didn't work out in some of the races. And I was like also surprised in Darlington because when I have raced it before, I wasn't that good at it, and then somehow I was pretty good running at the top most of the time in Darlington. So that was a surprise too for me.
Yeah, I know we're going to belabor the finish at Indy, but you were in the top 5 all day. If you had
Mhm.
tires, you would have been fine. And just looking at your last 5 finishes, Charlotte 4th, Dega 5th, Darlington 4th, Michigan 3rd, and then just the not having tires at Indy gives you 8th. You're looking at five top 5s to end the season. You'd be right up there with me and Cameron at 8 apiece for most in the league. Um, you are fast on all facets, and you're consistent as all get out. So, myself or Griffin or Cameron has a bad enough race, you're going to be right in the mix to try and get there for Homestead.
Yeah, I hope it doesn't have to come down to me hoping for you guys to have a better race. I'm hoping I can actually like compete, maybe get my first win in one of these races. But yeah,
Oh yeah,
we'll
no,
see.
don't take that the wrong way. Like you win a race, you're gonna be right there with me, if not ahead of me. The bad race is more on Cameron's end, being 9 up on the cut line. Just that's gonna be a little bit harder to overcome. But no, me and Griffin are definitely there for the taking for you.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't take it in a bad way. Just for myself, like, all right, I don't know. I'll see. I'll still have to practice. I haven't touched the Bristol yet or Phoenix, so I'll have to practice on those. See how I'm doing.
All right, man. Unless anyone else has anything for you before we let you go, obviously, absolutely pick yourself. Who's the other three take that's going to Homestead to race for a championship? Who's your championship for?
Championship 4, I'll have to say Dakota, just because he's been up there. He has the most wins, and then I'll say Cameron, and much probably James Jackson. Oh,
I was gonna have to kick you out on that if you took Griffin. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Was that you?
No, absolutely. Yeah, it's going to be a great battle to the end here as we set this final four.
Yeah, we're all pretty close to
Yeah,
from Griffin down to me,
yeah,
or even Jackson way too.
yeah. It's 4 points
Mhm.
from me, Griffin, you, and Jackson. So it's going to be tight. So, so if no one else has anything for you, man, we appreciate you stopping in and giving us some time tonight.
I appreciate you guys for having me.
Yeah, glad to
I
have
do
you
have
on.
one thing for
Oh,
you guys.
yeah.
I do have one
Oh.
thing. We've been talking about his speed all year. Miguel, I want you to look at one thing moving on to the playoffs here. Let's work on that long run speed. I do feel like you have the speed and you end up falling off. I think if you can get the long run speed, you'll get that first win for sure.
Yeah, I think that plays off too of me not just practicing, not doing long runs. I only do like the 10 minutes I have practice, but yeah.
It shows,
think-
man. You are one of the toughest guys to race on a restart. So we've been talking about it since we've been doing this show, and even before that. Like, you hate seeing you on the outside of one of us because we know you're going to fight for every inch off of two, and it's not going to be easy to hold you off or get back by you if you do get us. So
Yeah, I try to race hard just to make it fun. Also try to race clean. So
oh, and you definitely do.
hopefully it
You
was
absolutely do.
Mhm.
All right. So again, appreciate you coming on, spending some time with us tonight, and who knows, maybe we'll get to bring you back on either after a win here in the playoffs or to set up the final four.
Yep. Thank you for having me on, and hopefully I am able to come back on.
Appreciate you, boss.
Thank you. A good one.
Good to finally talk to him, man. He's been right there all year long.
Yep, he's been right there on the precipice of getting interviewed on this show with a win all season. All right, so I guess our next guy I'm going to drag in here. Tied in P5 in the standings here. We've got Jim Jacks. Oh, he left.
Oh no!
Bring him back.
Oh, he's back. He's back. He's back in the PRL.
Yep, okay.
There
you
we go.
Tied for P5 in the playoff standings here. We got Jim Jackson. How you doing?
Good. How about you guys?
Doing well.
Can
The-
you, it says join. It said join voice on the box, so I clicked it. And hung it up. So I guess that was the wrong click.
Oh, good. We got you in here. How you feeling going into these playoffs here?
Always a chance. I guess that's what we'll say. I'm just trying to stay out of everybody's way. In reality, that's what I'll try to do. So
well, you
I
can.
got some. I got some hand-me-down equipment. I'm not sure the I want to
Maybe a
call
little
out my
bit of
previous
sabotage.
owner, but
Yeah, there's a lot of miles on that equipment, but
there you go.
uh,
There you go.
also 20 some wins, and it was able to fire right off for you with
Yeah, that's true.
something they can't take away, man. You got the first. You were the first to
The
punch your
Daytona
ticket.
victory. Yeah,
You-
that was a good time. That was lucky timing, and yeah, it was just a good run. I liked it.
Nothing lucky about it, man. You saved the fuel that no one else could. So, um, you know, Daytona being what it is, and I know that the rest of the season hasn't played out exactly as you would have wanted to, but being that you got the equipment 2 days before the Daytona 250, uh, how has the season lived up to expectations? What have you
Well,
learned? And
you know how I feel about summertime. I need to be outside, so it's hard for me to drag myself in and practice. But like I told you, the one race when I was dropping f bombs at every corner, I felt like the kid who was given a book report but didn't know the title and never saw the book. So I need to do better about getting out on the track and practicing. As you text me today and asked me if I'd been on yet, the answer is still no, because now hockey has started. So
yeah.
hockey's taking up evening time.
Oh,
So, but yeah, I need to get some laps on Bristol. I don't even know, to be honest with you. Well, we got the Glen, which will be we need more full course cautions on those road courses to even have a chance. Of course, I'd bring out of most of them. So yeah, we'll have to see how it rides. I mean, I'm not feeling super upbeat about it, but I'll run it and see what happens, and maybe get lucky here and there, and get a couple runs, and maybe I can stay in it for a little bit.
well, you definitely got
I was
three.
gonna say,
Oh, go for it. Go for it, Dakota.
I think part of the key is gonna be, like you said, staying out the way. If you can survive the way these guys are gonna be racing for that bubble spot, you may get it.
Yeah. Yeah, the thing with getting out of the way though is you end up losing a half lap just trying not to be in the way. When you see them coming in the mirror, even though they're back a bit, you're like, okay, now I got to watch. I don't want to slip up high from the low slide, and I try to go low everywhere because that just seems to be the thing to do. But yeah, there's times I'll lose a good amount of time waiting, and then of course the next guy's behind him. The next, so you can fall down laps pretty quickly if you got to do that. But yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Staying out of the way is key, and like you said, timing. Just being lucky and staying in there and being there at the end, as they say.
Turning all the laps will definitely be the biggest key, I think.
True.
Yeah, and listen, man, you're in the playoffs. You are owed just as much track as everyone else. So all you got to do is be predictable. You run your race and let the other guys work around you. Every
My biggest problem is I can't find that damn talk button. Somebody says, "Hey, thanks, Jim," and I'm like, "Yeah, okay. Where's that button at?" I'm clicking, and I'll say thanks, and James will be like, "That didn't go over the airways." I said, "I know. I can't find that button."
so,
So once we'll see. My eye issues definitely playing a part in everything not working well, but we'll see how that dials in as time goes on too, and maybe it'll get better on that end. But it's hard to race these computers when you can't see what's what sometimes. So that's obviously an issue.
yeah, I'm hoping that ultra wide, when you get some time on it, will make it a little bit better for you.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It looks pretty nice.
So I've touched on this a couple times with you guys in private, and the eye issue my dad's talking about. He had an ATV accident in April and actually died. Um, he broke his face. He was resuscitated on scene, life flighted. So we're lucky he's even upright. And so he's got severe damage to his eye that he'll likely never recover from. He's got some new glasses in now that supposed to help refract the light a little better, make everything less double vision, less offset. So now he's got the new cyber glasses. Maybe he'll get back to kicking our butts. So
We
Hopefully
have
so.
another
That's
race at
perseverance.
Daytona.
no more racing at Daytona.
Okay. All right.
He's
Well,
going for a
sweet.
10 race all at Daytona.
There you go. Sweep it. Sweep the races
Yeah.
at Daytona this year.
So all right. Well, sounds like you're most worried about the Glen, which probably
Yeah, the
fair.
road course, obviously fair. Yep.
Probably fair. Uh, do you have any good feelings about Bristol or Phoenix? I know you haven't. You definitely haven't run Phoenix. I know you've done some laps at Bristol.
Yeah. No.
Well, we
I
appreciate.
wanted to say yes and act like I did, but no, not really. I mean, they're both so. I mean, you could die at any corner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you try to keep up. You try to hit your lines. And like I've talked with you, sometimes I'll be practicing. I'll get 4 or 5 great laps off, and then it's like, yeah, look at me go. And then next thing I know, I'm just a wad in the infield somewhere. It's like, wow, that wasn't a good play. So yeah, and I don't know what do we get two rebodies each race, or what do you get at the Glen? Do you get more than three, 2 or 3 rebuilds, or what?
I think
Emergency fixes.
we're still discussing that. I think for some of the races, I think that there is a possibility for some of these races to have two, just given the nature of some of these really aggressive tracks on damage. In
Hmm.
terms of Bristol, especially, is what I'm looking at. Um, but we'll see about all the other races. You'll at least get one though, for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's good. I always try to wait and use it up at the end, but like I used it up at the end of last race.
I appreciated that. I needed that yellow.
I
I
I
did
don't know
not want
what
to
the
see that
hell
one
happened,
coming up.
dude. I was
Look,
just trying to stop to get in the grind there in the pit area. Next thing I know, I'm like losing control.
it seemed like it was a downshift issue.
It might have been.
And
I might
watching
have
the
swung the
replay.
ass end around. Yeah, that's very possible because I was coming hot and dropping down gears. So at least I'm not ripping the shifter off the box like I was the first couple times I played it for you.
Right. Yeah, no, the aggressive panic shifts, as I call it.
Not. It's different when you're 60. It's not a panic shift. It's a banging shift. It's when you're in a real car,
Sure.
old 4 speed that takes some effort and you got to rip through them. That's what that's about. That's real life ripping, not finger twitching,
Yeah.
not auto sticking.
All right. Well, so you absolutely can vote for pick yourself, but who you think's going championship for?
I'd have to say Cam, Dakota. I don't know what the standings are at this moment, right here and now. But I would probably throw maybe Miguel or Jackson in there as maybe Griffin as a sideball, but and you James. But I don't think I think it's going to be those first 4 I mentioned.
So right now, Cam and Dakota are 20 or 9 and 20 points up, respectively, and then me and Griffin are up 3, and then it's Miguel -3, Jackson -4.
Okay, so the top 4 are probably going to stay there. Unless Jackson throws himself in reverse on the starting lap of the next race or something.
Well,
Yeah.
anyone else got anything for my dad, Jim Jackson?
No,
I mean,
I
I don't.
really appreciate all the time he's given us this year. It's been really fun to run with him, and I look forward to next season and him getting a lot better. I'm ready for him to start smoking him. I want to start looking at that spoiler the whole race.
There you go.
It's a good looking paint scheme. Hats up.
It is.
Tag off to Jackson Race Design, or what do you call it, James? 29 Design.
There you go. Yeah,
Yeah. I should know my sponsors better. Shoot.
probably. You probably should.
There was a fine line on getting them right.
All right.
Yeah.
right.
dun-dun-dun. Sorry about that.
Can't escape the dad jokes.
Puns are fun.
There, yep, absolutely. Well, we appreciate your time tonight, and
Excellent. Thanks, guys.
hope you can keep improving both physically and on the sim. We look forward to
Yeah.
these next 4 races with you and next season with you as well.
Yeah. Seat time will be the king. No doubt about that.
Good
I
news
know
is
I hear
it's
some of you guys talking. You practice so hard that you can't even wake up for the actual race.
That's me.
Where's he at? Where's he at? I thought he was going to be here. Where's he at? Oh, he clicked in 2 laps in. That's
oh
funny.
Oh,
man,
man.
that's a rough
Sad
one.
but funny.
Yeah.
Worked out for everyone else in the field.
It did.
Did.
Maybe even me, but not by much, I don't think. I think that might have been my F-bomb race. I
No,
don't know.
no,
So
no,
many
no.
of them.
Yeah.
So,
Uh,
all right, cool. Appreciate the time, guys.
thank
Good
you. We
racing out
appreciate
there.
you.
Well, take care. You're gonna have to. Am I gonna hang up or are you hanging up?
We'll
We
pop
got
you
you.
out.
Okay.
And there he goes. Oh, he's a good time. I
right.
don't. Oh, Griffin is in. All right, sweet.
I'll go ahead. We got our last guy before ourselves. All right, so tied for P3 in the playoff standings here. We have Griffin Deer. How you doing, bud?
He is muted.
You got me?
There it is.
Yep.
Yeah, my bad. I'm good. How you guys doing?
Be better if I can figure out what I just did to Discord.
I'm doing pretty good. How you feeling here going into the playoffs here, Griffin?
I'm feeling pretty good. I feel like
Oh my lord.
I sort of I feel like I came from behind. I started, I think I was 3 races. I missed the first 3 or 4 races from you guys, and kind of always felt like if I needed to
There we
make playoffs, it was 100% I was gonna have to win. And once I got that win, I sort of I was surprised just because it was like Talladega and just a drafting track, and then like I was kind of shocked at keeping up with Jackson at Charlotte, and then Michigan happened, and I was fast there, and I didn't really kind of see that happening for myself. So I think uh, I think maybe it's these cars. I'm feeling pretty good, kind of about moving forward, and yeah, I think Phoenix could be good for me.
Well, they say all it takes is one, rip the top off, and the rest will come. There's nobody hotter in the league right now than you. The last 5 are second, first, fourth. So, yeah, you joined late, and I think you missed one top 5 at Richmond when you, I think, ripped the toe link off of it. And other than that, it's top 5s and dubs for you, bud.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I'm not really sure where it came from. I dropped in the chat that I got a new wheel a couple weeks ago, and I ever since then, like kind of my I rating like went up almost like 700, and just things have been yeah, just really surprising. Like I don't really feel like I'm doing anything different than I was doing when I was racing you guys in FNX. But yeah, it just I'm honestly surprised that I've been able to kind of keep up. Just like I haven't really been on iRacing too long, so I'm sort of kind of in the same boat as Miguel. Like I think FNX was my first league, and then being in here is like my second league. So like I'm feeling good for myself, honestly.
Yeah, I mean,
But
let's not sell yourself short. You were fast in FNX. You missed the playoffs by like 2 points. If Cam doesn't win
yeah,
that, you're in. So, if Cam doesn't
well,
win that IRP race, you're in.
yeah, well, I actually did make playoffs in
Oh, that's right.
FNX.
Yeah, my fault. Yeah. So yeah, you had
Yeah,
speed. You were good.
yeah, but I only made the championship because something happened at Watkins Glen. I don't know what, but
Controller disconnect or something. I don't know.
yeah, I saw
Brain
you like go
disconnect.
wide in turn one, and then all of a sudden I never saw you again the whole race, and I was like, oh, I hope something like medical didn't happen. I didn't know, but
I wish. Honestly, I wish because that would have explained it better. No, I pulled off to fix something on my stream, and then in catching up, I blew through the bus stop to catch up. And I don't know if you know this, but there's a massive speed discrepancy between using the bus stop and not. And then I found the wall in the carousel and ended my race before we even took the green. So yeah.
oh man, I really should have gone off and watched the replay of that. That would have been crazy.
Yeah,
But
no.
Oh, you
Thankfully,
definitely should have.
thankfully, Darkwood had stopped doing streams at that point, and nobody got to see that. So,
yeah,
but no, like I said, a medical emergency would have been probably better than what actually happened.
yeah, no, for sure. Also, James, I wanted to shout out the Jays hat.
Yeah, I was going to ask you
No.
the most important question: are we going to get some fucking run support tonight?
Oh, dude, I don't know, man.
Oh,
I was
we're
at
up.
the game on Monday.
Oh, awesome. We're up 5-2 right now in the bottom of the third, actually.
Okay, there we go. There we
So
go. Yeah, I was just talking about it to people at work, and we're just like, we beat the Yankees, so that could be our World Series, just beating the Yankees.
no, yeah, I've been a Blue Jays fan my whole life. Northeast Ohio, so I'm an Indians fan too. But the Jays have always been team 2 for me, and so
Yeah, no, it's great, man. I mean, just that first series was so electric. Like Vladdy hitting that grand slam, that was
yeah,
crazy.
would like some of those runs back for this series, but
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I think Seattle's a really good team, but I don't know. I just feel like offensively we should have the numbers, and I just don't know.
Uh,
I don't know.
somebody pointed out, I saw on Twitter, that yesterday was the 10-year anniversary of the Bautista bat flip,
Oh
and
man.
that was to complete a 0-2 comeback. So it's happened before. Let's do it again.
True.
Let's get back to the 92-93 era here and win another World Series.
100%. 100%. But yeah, man. So back to racing.
Yeah, I guess that's what the show's about.
Yeah,
We'll get back to that.
Yeah. Oh, I actually wanted to also drop in too, like Dakota and Camron, man, and that FNX Talladega, man. I was not happy with you guys. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm sure you weren't.
Yeah. No, I felt like you two were working purposely to like make sure I wasn't working with you guys. So
That was so that was after this premier Daytona race, and we realized how much you could manipulate the pack and manipulate the air and manipulate the fuel. And so me and Cameron went into that race and we just kind of manipulated everything. I don't think anybody liked this.
No.
Yeah.
If there's two people that people do not like seeing at a super speedway link up, it's gonna be me and Dakota until we inevitably wreck each other.
Yeah, they ran me out at Daytona. So
yeah, I knew you guys were probably on mic together talking about it, and then there's a couple times I got behind Dakota, and then Cameron, you were behind me, and then I like stayed in line with Dakota in the outside lane till we cleared for you, and then all of a sudden you jump inside and like push past me, and then Cameron drops, and I'm all of a sudden like just get thrown to the back, and I was like, this guy, like. And I thought I showed my displeasure with you there at the end, just on the cool down lap a little bit. But yeah, I mean, I think other than that, things have been, like really, really good racing between all of us. I think like Indy, I was sort of on the falling group. I know James was playing a different fuel strategy the whole time,
trying to.
but yeah, and so I felt like I was like just slower than you two for most of the race, and then when Jackson was there, I felt like I was just a little bit slower than him. And then at the end, when you got kind of pushed out there, like you just still had that speed on the outside that I just kind of couldn't make the pass there with like 4 to go. But yeah, I think it's been great racing.
No, it has, and yeah, we mentioned last week, Cam was one of the only guys that we saw that was able to run that second or third lane at Indy. It was honestly wild. Other than, some guy in the 6 car that was able to drive it in as deep as I did on that second to last lap.
Yeah, I mean, I did it one time. I
I
felt
know.
like Cam did the whole lap around me. I was like, just fully drove around me the whole like turn 1, turn 2 into turn 3. I was just like, okay, I'll just lay back.
Yeah, he was motivated to win that one and slipped out of his hands.
Yeah, no, I definitely felt bad for you with the Brickyard paint job and all. Like,
Yeah,
I felt bad.
I let Dakota get too close to me, but no, yeah. I mean, I think the outside line there, it's like one of those lines that's just, it's really hard to do, and it just takes a lot of laps and stuff. And I mean, I put the most laps out of any track on this service at that track, so I just feel a lot more confident. I feel like just from also, there's a lot more parallels I think than people give credit to, um, with the Indy cars there, to especially these next gen cars. Maybe not so much the other cars in NASCAR, but the next gen cars in terms of the air and manipulating it and where you can actually run isn't terribly different than the IndyCar. They're just going 30 miles an hour or less. Uh, but I think that it's just the laps there. I mean, I think it's just, I don't think it's any more skill on my part or anything like that. I think it's just knowing exactly how far to push it on that outside lane.
Yeah, for sure. I think definitely like I think you were ahead going into the last caution. I think maybe that caution doesn't come. You kind of just walk away from us.
Oh yeah, I
But
did not want to see that come out. I felt like I could keep Dakota behind me, but it is what it is, and Dakota was able to get around me and get the win there. So
yeah, for sure. for sure.
All right, so a couple
But
things here as we get ready for the playoffs. Um, what I feel like you may have touched on it, but then I think we got talking Jays. Um, what tracks are you looking forward to? What are you a little apprehensive about as we try and set this Final Four?
so I'm feeling pretty good about Phoenix. I actually I did a Gen 4 race there last night, and it was pretty like low strength of field, but I actually lapped the whole field
Ah, the
in
Dakota Nichols.
yeah, and I there was a caution, and one guy got a lap back, so he was like only one lap back, but like I just feel like that track, I I don't know, I just like it's a good length, like the 1 mile, and I feel like I'm strong in most cars on iRacing at like the mile and a half and the miles. I would say I'm most worried about the Watkins Glen. I think if there's any place I'm gonna wreck out, I think it's gonna be at Watkins Glen. I think yeah, I felt like on the road course I definitely haven't had the speed as U3 and Jackson. I just feel like maybe it's just not enough experience with these cars, or just not really knowing like, or just not being fast on road courses. Maybe that's not really like my thing, and it's kind of been easier to pick up the ovals.
Sure.
But yeah, Bristol could be good as well. I'm still trying to kind of figure out my strategy for that one. I've done a few test sessions and just trying to kind of figure out which line I want to run and kind of like shift points and all that. So like I'm definitely doing my homework and trying to be a student of the game and do what I got to do to move forward here.
It's interesting.
But yeah,
You said shift points. At Bristol?
yeah. So I've been trying some fifth gear only, and then I tried some downshifting, some braking, and honestly, I'm running like pretty much the same laps.
Let's go to our short track analyst, Dakota. What do you think about shifting at Bristol?
So the gearing that we have set up, I don't know if in race you're going to be shifting a lot, but definitely in qualifying pace you're gonna be shifting. So
Okay, so bang
Uh,
fourth. Okay.
yeah, bang fourth. Try to roll it as much as you can. It's really going to be sensitive on the downshifts, but I think the only time you're going to have to worry about that is qualifying solo core. I think running in a pack or running behind anybody, you're not going to be carrying enough speed to, or I said that backwards.
You're not going to slow
You
enough.
Yeah, you're not going to slow up enough to downshift to fourth.
Okay. Well, I mean, I appreciate the guidance there. I felt like at Richmond, everyone else was shifting, and I was the only one that was not shifting for like pretty much the whole race. So that, I mean, it's sort of been back and forth to me on some of these tracks. Like having a fifth gear, I think has kind of been something I'm not totally sure what I'm doing with that in a lot of these places, like short tracks. I haven't run a lot of short tracks in these cars. So
Oh, you know what? I will correct myself. I did say it right the first time, and then I got crossed up. Racing in a pack, you may not be going fast enough to use fifth gear.
Oh, interesting.
If you've noticed, yeah, if you've noticed, you're getting to the top of fourth gear, like halfway
Right at
down the
the end,
straightaway by
yeah.
yourself. Yeah, but
hmm
racing behind somebody, you may not get to fourth gear till the next corner when you're slowing down anyway. So
I do have breaking news. Springer, dead center, solo homer, 6-2 Jays.
beauty. Great to hear.
when the Jays win, we all win. I will say that. I'm not a Jays fan, but I definitely root for them.
That's good. Good to hear. I mean, it's crazy to hear people from the States that support Canadian teams. That's wild to me.
Well, the Jays
So.
are the only one. I like big hockey fan, and I hate all the Canadian teams. So.
Oh yeah. No, don't worry. I live in Toronto, and I hate the Leafs. Man. I hate it. I can't.
I was gonna say I cannot stand the Leafs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. I mean, like I like the Jets a little bit because they're kind of like the Browns of the NHL. You know, they had their team stolen, they came back. They're kind of lovable
Yeah,
losers, but
yeah,
yeah, for the most part, it's like, oh, who's playing the Canadian team? That's who I'm rooting for.
yeah, yeah. No, fair enough. Fair enough.
I'll be
I-
honest, as a Jays fan, you're in a better spot than me. I'm a Braves and Padres fan. So
I was rooting for the Padres. I mean, at least you got a
I'm
World
a
Series a
Cubs
couple years
fan,
ago.
so I wasn't.
yeah,
Well, we won't talk about your Cubs fan. Ruin my
Until the next series.
ruin my 2016 as
I
as
love
an
that. That
Indians
was
fan.
great. Hey, I would say sorry, but I'm not. I
No,
waited 100,
listen.
or I wait.
Absolutely. No, and like when you guys were playing the Dodgers, I'm like, please be the Dodgers. Please let us play the Dodgers because one of us was going to break a 100-year streak, and I was like, no, if the Cubs win forever, the Indians recording that last out would be the highlight, and I'd have to live it forever. So I was like, if the Dodgers beat us, it's their 18th World Series. Who cares? But anyway, back to
Little PTSD going on
yeah,
right
a
now.
little bit. All right, so as we sit, we are the final four right now as we head into the start of the playoffs. Griffin, does it hold, or who's your final four?
You know, I think at some of these tracks anything can happen, and I think these whole standings, and I think things could have been different had a few people not made some mistakes throughout some of the races. Like I kind of look at Miguel and his speed at Darlington, and even when he was on fresh tires at Indianapolis, like just he's right there, and then same Brandon, like Brandon's been fast, and then it just kind of seems like at some point in the race, I feel like Brandon, I look around and he's just kind of disappeared, and whether it's like pit road penalties or accidents or something, but like if someone puts together a race and jumps up into the top four, and then Watkins Glen happens, and if someone's running around at the back of the pack or someone wrecks in that's one of us top four, like there's definitely room for like Jackson, Miguel, Brandon. One of these guys I think can definitely jump up. But I would say top four. I think myself, Dakota, Jackson, Miguel.
Oh, he's got both of us dropping
oh,
out, Cam.
yeah. A bold take. I like it. I like it.
I mean, no hard feelings.
Oh
I'm just
no,
kidding.
yeah, you're good.
No, no,
That's
no.
fine. Whatever. I'll take my Jays hat off, and we'll just move on with our life.
Hey, I will say that the Jackson pick, with there being a road course right in the middle of this, like
Oh yeah, no,
the
I
rest
think
of us have to run good there because he's definitely going to be fast.
if the points are the same, right, Cam? Like the pole position, all the bonus points are still
Yep.
there.
all the
It
all the points will be remain the same. The only caveat that
is no playoff points.
would be different is there's no playoff points, but also it's not when you're in.
Right.
So it's got to be consistent.
But like, let's assume everything holds serve. The points don't change a bit headed from Bristol to Watkins Glen. Jackson's going to make up that 4-point deficit in pole, laps led, fastest lap. That right there, that's 5 points, right? So
Yep.
even without winning, he's going to make up that gap. It's just a matter of what the others around him do. So yeah, no, that nobody's safe here at the cut line. I think Cam, if you don't have a bad race, I think you're okay. But like from me to Jackson, it is up for grabs. Um, so
I mean, I wouldn't say that I'm feeling safe at all anyway. I mean, I will say that I kind of agree that if I do, as long as I finish decent, I'm okay. And I don't know if it's just PTSD from the FNX race, but I I'm not confident going into Bristol. Just not necessarily that I don't think I'll be fast. It's more so will I survive? Because
oh,
I've had a lot of issues with just surviving races there. In the two league races I've done there, being the FNX series and then the Manifold Truck series. There, both series been had speed, but fall off and end up wrecking myself or getting collected in a wreck in both of those. So I think it's if I have a bad race there, I think or if I wreck out early in the race, I'm right on the cut line, and so I feel like I can hold serve at least at Watkins Glen and Phoenix to an extent. But I don't think it's a that bold of a take to say that I do fall out here.
No, like Bristol, everything's going to happen fast when it happens. So,
Hmm.
um, no, definitely a possibility for issue there. But well, I don't know. Anyone else got anything for Griffin before we cut him free and he can go back to watching the Jays beat up on the Mariners?
I don't have anything, but I want to wish you good luck as we go into the playoffs, and I'm definitely not comfortable knowing that you're there as fast as you've been these last however many 7 weeks or so that you've been racing with us.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I also just wanted to say, like, I saw the underdog racing video, and just want to say, like, I'm glad you're all right, Dakota. Sorry about your crash, and
Appreciate it.
just hope, yeah, just hope everything's good going forward with you guys. But no, thank you for having me though, and I yeah, hope to get back on here with you guys again.
You are the
Yeah,
hottest.
man. Thanks.
You are absolutely the hottest driver in the league right now. You've gone from 9th to 4th in a handful of weeks, so definitely a threat to win it all in 4 weeks.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
So
I appreciate that.
we appreciate your time tonight with spending some time with us, and good luck the next 3 weeks, and go Jays.
Yeah, 100%. Go Jays, man. All right, talk to you guys later.
All right, later, bud.
Later.
Well, that was fun talking to all these guys. Now we have to
Mhm.
Cool. I enjoyed that.
talk about ourselves.
All right, James, how do you feel going into the playoffs here, sir?
Well, I feel like I can hold serve. I just need something to go my way for the first time since Sonoma.
Yeah, it's definitely been a while. As far as things going your way, what track do you think can serve you best there?
Well, I have pretty decent pace at Phoenix. I think it's pretty conservative and fair to say I'll be top 3 at Watkins Glen. As long as I make it through the pace lap, that is. Bristol concerns me. I haven't run a lot of Bristol. And as we've been discussing, things happen fast. So if I can get out of there with a top 4, like the 3 of us, and then either a Jackson or a Griffin, I'll feel pretty good going into the Glen. But like, you catch a bad break at Bristol, man, you be behind the 8 ball, and then if I have to chase Jackson into the Glen, I'm gonna be worried. So
Yeah, that's a fair feeling. I think honestly, I just think survival is going to be the biggest thing at Bristol. You know, it's hard to do. Everything happens so quick. The testing that I've done with this car, it's super slick, and it's going to be very tight net racing. So, I I can attest to that, and I see where you're coming from. You really want to roll in a Phoenix with at least a decent sized gap to the cut line, and then you want that to go very good for you. So, and I remember you're the one car I couldn't lap at Phoenix, so I know you can do good there.
yeah, no, I showed up and dropped the pole lap, and then you're the only one that you couldn't catch to lap the field. So, but yeah, like I don't know if you've caught it, but there's a nasty bump about a lane and a half or a half a lane to a lane up in one in Bristol. That the rub blocks hit and it shoots you up the track. So you catch that at the wrong time under somebody, and that'll screw up the playoffs.
It will. It's such a rigid car. I think that's the biggest problem you see with this car and like older surface racetracks. And a lot of banking, that big transition it's got. I think this car just has a big problem with that.
Yeah, it does not like to be unsettled, and Bristol has that, and Watkins Glen has that. So, like we were talking with Jackson, man, the curbs with this car, and now that the curbs are in play fully with the new off track system, um, it's not out of the realm to say that Jackson makes a mistake and has to tow and cost himself the race. So anyone can get it at the new Glen. So um, it'll be interesting to see if we do go chalk there like we expect, where it's Jackson and then grab bag of the three of us for the top four, or if somebody breaks something and really alters the playoffs.
100%. I kind of skipped on it, but how about how you got here? How you feel about how you got here? How the season went?
Well, I was shocked to have a chance to steal that win at Sonoma. I thought Vegas was going to be good for me, and overcooked my strategy just a little bit. Came up 10 seconds short of you. Richmond, if Richmond that caution waits 5 to 10 more laps, I think I get you. Michigan, Indy, the strats didn't play out the way I needed them to. And then Sonoma, man, I don't know what it was that I was able to save more and be there at the end, but I knew when I was on his bumper, I had to use the opportunity, take the opportunity that was presented, and lock myself in. I do feel good that I only lost by Miguel to 1 point, or lost to Miguel by 1 point for P2. So like it wouldn't have been any stress on do I make it or not, but to be able to snag that win 3 weeks in, 4 weeks in was nice. Take some pressure off.
Oh, definitely. You got anything, Cameron?
Not particularly. I guess to kind of build off of your point about Watkins Glen and the changes made there, I think there's a possibility we see a little bit of attrition there, more so than we have normally seen at Watkins Glen. I think mainly due to the fact that they relaxed some of those off-track penalties, and mainly not that I think it's necessarily going to be a harder race than say Sonoma was, given that we had I think half the field had a lot of attrition in that race. I think it's more so people are going to have to push it so much to have a shot, that we're going to have more people hitting the wall and just really pushing, especially with it being a playoff race that people are trying to get all they can get. And so I think that it's not out of the route. It's not. I think we all say that we all know who the favorite is, but I think it's a really close second is James, just because of how consistent you were at Sonoma, and I think that's really what gave you the chance there at the end of that race to make the move that you made.
Yeah, and I meant to say this with Griffin, and we just missed it. He's talking about not having pace. The thing is, man, just be clean.
Hmm.
That was the difference with me and Jackson and Dakota. I mean, Dakota, you were saving from the time you came out of pit road, so just to make it to the end. And my being a second and a half to 2 seconds slower, I didn't have to worry about that. So, yeah, no, I think we will have some attrition at the Glen, and again, I don't think it's out of the realm for one of these curbs to jump up and bite Jackson as he's running these 110s.
Hmm.
It's not gonna be hard to do. I know I tested it since the new reskin, and I tried to kind of run it like Connor Zilich was running and Shane Van Gisbergen. And they really go through one. They don't slow down much. They just take it all the way to the wall. The thing about that is when you try to take it that fast and you do go over that curb, I think you've already touched on this, but when you jump over that curb and you land, if you don't land right, it's over.
Oh yeah, no, there's no warning. There's no like fight it. It is how far am I from the wall? Do I have a chance to stop?
Yeah.
and if you're putting counter steer into it at all, it's gonna snap back the other way, and you're gonna take the left side off of it in one. So, yeah, I mean, like I can run. I think my opt is a 110.1. I think my best is a 110.5, but like I can run one of those, two of those tops, and then it starts to get sketchy. So, I know Jackson's going to be running that kind of number. It's just a matter of can he do 45 without something breaking on him.
Yeah, in his mindset's probably do that for a little bit, and then he can back off and let us do it and let us make a mistake. So just have to see.
Interesting to see if anybody can out-qualify him, because I think that'll really throw a curveball. Just because we haven't really seen what Jackson might do if he isn't on the pole.
I'm gonna work on it. I've been turning laps here and there. Problem is, I'm kind of like James right now, where I can turn one or two, but we get 3 laps of qualifying, and I kind of feel like either Jackson's gonna pick up speed more than likely, and his third lap will be faster than mine. But he's just very consistent. And some days it's hit or miss. I can turn like a 109. I turned a 109.7 one time, but that was one time, and I haven't been able to do that again. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, like I put a P2 on at Sonoma, and like yeah, we can go balls out and put down a lap, but yeah, it's just about staying. Sorry, laughing at the chat.
I'm surprised you said anything. I was like,
I wasn't. Yep, I fell right for it.
I was gonna say I see Ed in the chat. I'm like, all right, not touching that.
Mods ban smooth shoot the gap.
mods, ban them, ban them.
Wait, I'm the mods. Shit. Shit, I don't even remember what we were saying. Totally derailed the segment.
I was talking about I touched a 109, but it was only one time.
Yeah. So, and you know what? If we can hit a 110.1 and you can hit a 197, Jackson's gonna hit a 194. So,
Oh yeah.
He's gonna take that as a challenge and put down a hell of a lap. And it's just that's what I was saying. It's about staying within reach. I don't know how it wasn't more of a problem at Sonoma, other than you guys saving like crazy. But I think I was 13 seconds behind you, 20 seconds behind him when I came out. So, but yeah, so looking forward to the playoffs. And since we've asked everyone else, my champ 4 is going to be the 3 of us and Jackson with the dominant performance at the Glen to put him over the edge, just beating Griffin by like a point or 2.
I can see it.
Yep.
Alrighty, we will go from me.
All right, let's see if we can get Camron in the booth here real quick. Oh, there he is.
First time, long time.
It has been a long time. I thought you won another race, Cameron. What is this?
Well, I won the All-Star race, and I would have won Indy, but
Oh, that's right.
It's
You would
somebody.
have won Indy. That's right.
Yeah, a couple bad luck situation
That's
at the
the
end of
one
that
I was thinking about. My bad.
Get a body bag. All right. So, this is the race that I missed. North Wilkesboro. That's how you punched your ticket in dominant
We're gonna
fashion.
put an asterisk by this one too.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Hey, I'll tell you what, I'll trade you. You can take this one. I'll take Indy.
Well, for vacating wins, actually, it's I believe Blake Novacek gets it.
No.
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 This one, it was a good race. I think me and Blake, obviously that's the one race that he was here for, but he was right behind me for the last 60, 70 laps of that race. And I know that Dakota was probably the fastest car there. I know he had the fastest lap and also the pole, but a little mistake and sent him into the wall there earlier in the race when he was unfortunate enough to get cycled out behind me. I think he slid through his box and ended up hitting the wall and then just gave himself some wheel damage for the rest of the race and just couldn't. He was still honestly one of the fastest guys even on that wheel damage. He just couldn't hold that throughout the run as his tires started to wear. And then yeah, I was gonna say I took the lead and just never relinquished it, but I was really it was really tough racing for a long time at that track. I know me and Blake got into it a couple times, but able to keep it straight for the most part and able to come for the win.
Yeah, you like me, 8 top fives, to lead the pair of us lead the league. You had Charlotte was in ninth. I know you had a couple
Mhm.
wall bangers there. What was the other one? Was it Sonoma?
Sonoma, I actually finished fourth, but it was a terrible race. I just happened
Okay.
to have a slightly less worse race than everybody else. But that, and I think Richmond, I think was
Oh,
another race.
okay. Yeah,
That
yeah.
was the other race. I was outside the top five. I had another couple incidents where I would hit the outside wall out of two there, out of four at Charlotte, and just Charlotte just gave himself too much damage, and just with that going green for 200 laps, it just never got a chance to get back into it. Luckily, got saved by those double points. That it helped lessen the blow a little bit. But yeah, that's part of where my average finish went. Just I think that if you take out those two races, I'm probably sitting around two for my average finish. Just had those real tough races, and that middle portion of the season really not kind to me. I think starting with Sonoma, going through Charlotte, just not having any good races in there. Even, I mean, like I said though, despite the top five at Sonoma, that was a terrible race for me.
Yeah, looking at your last five, Charlotte being ninth, then it goes 4, 3, 2, 3. Dega, Darlington, Michigan, and Indy. So that right there is a 3 if you take
Hmm.
Charlotte out. So not wrong on your assessment there. And again, 2 races outside of the top 5 all season. Now, my question to you would be, with you having trouble at Richmond a little bit, do you worry about that translating to Phoenix, having a couple maybe issues at Phoenix, since it's not the same, obviously, but like maybe a similar-ish track?
Um, to be honest, Phoenix is the one that I'm feeling most confident. I'm not confident going into any of these races. I know I set up the schedule a large part, but these three races, I'm not like none of them are my best track. I'd say Phoenix is probably the one that I'm most confident going into, just because it's going to be the most straightforward race outside of maybe the road course at Watkins Glen. That's going to be straightforward, as in just because it's a road course, but because it's a road course, it's it is what it is. But I really think that Phoenix is the best, just because I feel like I can. It's one of those places where I feel like I can run consistently enough that I can stay in it, and keep myself having at least a top 30 run at that racetrack. I might not finish on the lead lap as I got lapped in the first race. I will say the caveat that I got behind early by trying to short pit that in the FNX race and got an unlucky caution, so had to fight my way back from I think I was two or three down. Um, and I think I was one of the first couple that were a lap down to end the race, but not that I had speed at that race regardless. But um, I think I'm most confident going into there. Just I feel like I'm probably faster at Bristol. I'm just not sure if I'm going to make the end of that race as of right now. It's just going to depend on how if I can get through the first 50 laps, I feel like I'll be fine to get out of there with the top five, and then Watkins Glen, I'm going to be happy with the top five. I don't think that I'm going to compete for the win in any stretch of the imagination. And given if I was in a worse points position, I think I would be a little bit more worried about Watkins Glen. But I think it depends on Bristol how worried I am about that track. If I can get out of Bristol with a good finish there, then I don't think I have to worry about Watkins Glen as much.
Yeah, like I said, I think if you top 5 your way through the playoffs, I think you're going to be okay with that 9-point head start on the cut line. So, yeah, if you survive Bristol, which, as you said, you haven't been able to do lately,
Mm-mm.
and then have a good run, good top 5 at the Glen, I think you're going to be in a pretty good spot to, whether you're a lap down or not, finish where you
Mhm.
need to at Phoenix and get through to Homestead, which you've got to be feeling confident about Homestead if you make it.
I'd say I'm less confident than I have been in other races. I know that I've done pretty good there in every race I've been um, racing against this group of guys that we've got. The guys that have been in both the truck race and then the ARCA race and the FNX that we did there. Um, but it's more so, I think this league, we have so many good guys, like the best of the best from all the other leagues are in this league. So we got, I think Dakota obviously is going to be a favorite there, if he can escape some bad luck. And so I'm not. I know I brag a lot that I'm undefeated against Dakota there. I don't think that it's necessarily that I'm faster than him, and it's more so just hey, it's the one track that I know that I am undefeated, so I'm gonna brag on it a little bit.
Absolutely,
But
yeah.
but I think that I mean even aside from Dakota, Griffin's always fast a mile and a half. He was fast at Michigan. He was fast at Charlotte. I know that they're slightly different tracks, but it's same principles. He's going to be fast there. James, you're going to be fast there as you are at every other track. Jackson's going to be fast there. There's just so many guys that are going to be fast there that I think that it is the most confident track that I have going into the playoffs. I mean, the group of guys we've got, there's really there's not any race that I can be completely comfortable in.
That's fair. I mean, like you said, the competition's so tight that like how you can be confident, but like you can't be confident. You know, you're
Yeah,
not gonna be cocky about it and pencil yourself in anywhere unless you're Dakota, maybe. But
I was gonna say Dakota. I mean, he did separate himself a little bit. I think it would have been really interesting to see what would happen if he didn't sleep through Charlotte and then had those little internet issue at Michigan. I think it really would have been interesting to see. I know he will self admit that mile and a halfs aren't his favorite or best tracks, but regardless of that, he's still the fastest guy at those tracks, regardless, more times than not. Um, and
I can
so,
get
I
the jump.
mean,
It's just a lot easier to beat me there.
yeah. Um, and I think that I think if I would have gone into the playoffs with the points that I wanted with winning Indy, I would have been a lot more confident here. But I think with the points that I with the points I got from the regular season championship, I'm not too disappointed with how the regular season went.
no, that's why I was fighting so hard to try and best Miguel because that 3 extra points I'd feel a lot better than
Hmm.
being tied with Griffin and right there on the cut line. +6 feels a lot better than +3. So
Yeah, I'm kind of glad that he didn't get it because that gives me a little bit more buffer to you guys.
I bet. So, but you are the most recent winner, whether it was points paying or not. You got a little bit of momentum after the All Star win, heading into Bristol.
I mean, we can go with the caveat there too that Dakota's internet crapped down on him again, but I'll take a win.
Well, you know what? It's not like it's a one-time thing. That's the first time that his internet's ever acted up. So, um, we can't rule out that it happens one of the next 3 weeks.
Well, mechanical failure, maybe.
Yeah, yeah. So
It could happen.
what's that?
I said it could happen. And it
Yeah,
could be Homestead that it happens at, and we're just gonna race through it.
yeah. That's all you can do, man. And like honestly, I make jokes. We make jokes about you blinking, but you haven't been a problem. You're there, then you're not. And I think we all know well enough to not get too close when we don't have to. If you're doing that, so it comes down to the end, it might be a different story. But
Yeah.
Um, you know, it is what it is. Cameron,
Mhm.
do you what do you think for the championship 4?
I'm gonna put myself in there just selfishly. And then I gotta put Dakota in. I don't think that any. I think he's the one guy that can afford to finish last in one of these races and still make it.
If he crosses, if he takes the green flag in all 3 races, I think he's okay.
Yeah, he's just those 4 wins um, really propel him there, and that's despite him missing 2 races. So I have to put him in there. I think. Let me pull up the. I think I have to give number 3 spot to you, James. I think that just being above the cut line here, and given the fact that it's not when you're in, I think you're consistent enough at all 3 of these tracks. We've already discussed Phoenix, as well as the fact that you're fast at Sonoma and you're fast at every road course we go to. So I think I have a really good shot at Watkins Glen to at least get a top 3, if not the win. And so I'd put you just from consistency, the fact that you're starting above the cut line, I'm putting you in. And then I think that where I'm going to differ here than a lot of people is I'm leaning. I think my last 2 that I think I'm leaning between would be between Griffin and Jackson, but I think I'm going to lean more toward Griffin here, and I think that's going to be my pick, just for the fact that he's got that 4-point buffer on Jackson here, 3 on the cut line, 4 on Jackson, and I think that while Jackson's going to swing, I think 4 points probably around Watkins Glen, I think is what we saw earlier. Uh, I think he can swing up and tie him potentially through that, but I think that Griffin, as consistent and good as he is at these ovals, that if as long as he can get a good run at Watkins Glen at the very least, I think that he can potentially outpoint Jackson in those other 2 races just by finishing ahead of him, maybe in one of them and maybe within 1 or 2 spots of him in another. And so I think that I would lean more toward giving Griffin that last spot.
The path is definitely there. You know, like you said, if he beats him at Bristol or Phoenix, and then is right there with him at the other one, and finishes, you know, top 5, top 4, even at the Glen. Um, you know, I think that path is definitely there for him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dakota, anything else for Cameron before we bump to you?
No. I look for him to be fast at Bristol. There's a lot of people I look to be fast at Bristol. Just the consistency. I think he should have 2 or 3 wins that have come down to the end where he kind of choked it away. So if we can work on the end of race stuff, I think he'll be fine.
Well, those were choked away off the bumper of Dakota Nichols. So we don't need to talk about that.
I didn't even touch you the last time. That's the sad part.
Yeah, I know. I definitely gave away that one, but yeah, I see what you mean there, though. But I think I'm trying to get a little more consistent there, and I think that is definitely my Achilles heel is those last couple laps.
That All-Star race last night at Motegi. If that was old Cameron, you wouldn't have won that race. That's what I meant by that.
True. I think I
Speaking of
definitely would have
bumpers,
smacked the wall.
speaking of bumpers, what is this?
This is me pushing you to the finish after you ran out of fuel at Vegas.
That's right. I was like, did we really finish that close?
No. No, if it would have been 1 lap
Yeah.
longer, though.
It would have. Yeah, 100%.
So I wouldn't
I
be
know
right up
that
on you, though. I would have been flying past you. But
there were 2 or 3 people that ran out that race.
that was win 1 of 4 this year for you. So you've won. We got what? We got a mile and a half. Richmond, the short track. Darlington, the intermediate, and then the big old Indy Oval. Fairly versatile there for our current points leader.
Yeah, we try to be, and I'm trying to add a road course to that arsenal. ever since Jackson beat me so bad at Lime Rock, I've definitely closed the gap to him. He's still, as we've said, the favorite, but definitely trying to get better there too.
Yeah, I know you were pretty dominant in that manifold truck race the other night at the Roval. Would have been interesting if I didn't brain fart on the grid, but I just can't road course pace lap for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna work out for you not having to run that pace lap, but
Anyway, golly, 2.6 average finish this year for the 7 races. No, 8 races that you did.
Yep.
Because you were behind me at Dega. We both screwed the pooch at Dega.
yes, we did.
Speeding around Ed, spinning onto pit road. What? I mean, there's probably not a track you're worried about in the playoffs with your dominance at Phoenix and knowing that you're going to be a top 3 to 4 car at the Glen, and I would imagine you're going to be good at Bristol, short of something bad happening to you. So, is there a track that you are more worried about than others, or?
Yeah, Bristol. Even I feel like I'm gonna have the pace at Bristol, but the problem with Bristol is getting in the lap traffic, and as tight as these race car runs, trying to fight your way through traffic. There's a lot that can happen there, and if the guy behind you isn't really paying attention to the same thing you're paying attention to, it's easy to get run over. So, as weird as it sounds, that's my biggest worry is the little
No,
half mile.
that's fair, man. I know that like everyone expects you to win there. But like we said, everything happens so fast there, and I was telling my dad, man, if you spin forever. So like you could see the car in front of you spin, but like, is he gonna tag the inside wall? Is he gonna come back up? Is he gonna come back down after coming back up? So like, and you might see it, but like you said, the guy behind you might not and run you over or drive you into the wreck. So everything happens so fast there that anything can happen.
Yeah, there's almost nowhere to go. That's what I worry about. Really, if there's one track that I am worried about, it's not even in this round. It's going to be making it past this round, getting a Homestead. Um, I have choked away the past 2 championships, and both of them were to Cameron. So, if we can somehow keep Cameron out of the championship, for that'd be great.
You're hoping for Griffin's Final Four then.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that is the benefit that you do have of that 20-point lead that you've earned. Is like we've said, you run that, you take that green flag, you're going to be in a good spot to not have any problem getting through this first round. So 400.
It may be my Achilles heel, but I don't. Even knowing that, I don't go into the races looking at it like that. We're gonna show up, try to compete for a win. I can't do the pacing around, just trying to manage a finish. Like I'm gonna try to finish the best I can, even if it does cost me a little bit.
Yeah, no, for sure. I don't personally foresee anything of this changing for you. I think 4 wins, 4 poles, 470 laps led. I think those numbers will all be up by the next time we talk.
I hope they're exactly the same as they are right now.
That'd be great, but definitely the laps led and the pole I think is going to change. Something might happen. You might not get that dub, but I think you're the like we talked with Jackson, man. At the Glen, you're the favorite here at Bristol this next week. So, short of something happening, I think we get together next Wednesday and we're talking about another Dakota Nichols win. As we head to, we'll just go ahead and pencil you into the championship 4 with your 20-point lead. What happens behind you?
I think the big thing is what's going to happen at Bristol, like we just talked about, and then you go into Watkins Glen, and we all know Jackson is super fast. I mean, we've been talking about it the whole time we've been here tonight. So I think you pencil in a Jackson win. That's going to shake up the points behind me pretty good. I think that's going to put him over the cut line. And so after Phoenix, you're talking who's the fourth guy, right? So I'll give you my first three. And I think it'll be me, Jackson, and James. This is where it gets interesting. Because James is also a variable. Because I don't know who to put in the fourth spot out of you, Cameron, or Griffin. I think Jackson and the road course makes this really interesting. But Cameron's got a +9 points lead to the cut line. So this is what I'll do. It'll be me, Cameron, James, and Jackson. I want to give it to Griffin, but just Jackson having that road course in the middle of this round, I can't ignore that. So
Yeah, like we've all said, it's going to depend on Bristol and Phoenix. What does Griffin do versus that? Because again, Jackson is likely going to make up the entire 4-point deficit that with the 5 bonus points from pole, 2 for the pole, right? Is it 2 or is it 3 for leading the most laps? So that's 5 right there.
3. Yeah.
or 2.
Yeah.
It's 3.
So
It's 3.
fastest
Yep.
lap is 2. So there's 7 right there for him for the taking. So if he finishes right on Griffin's bumper or ahead of Griffin in either of those 2 races, it's gonna be Jackson's to lose. And that goes for me too. That fourth spot with Jackson at the road course, if everything goes chalk like we think it will, it's going to be tough to hold him off and keep him out of Homestead with that 7 bonus points without even breaking a sweat, if we're really honest.
Yeah, and you gotta hope you don't see a Cameron implosion. I mean, it's both of you for that fact. I mean, it's so hard as tight as these points are around the cut line. I just don't think either one of you have a race where you're like, hey, I can just finish
Nope.
decent. I feel like y'all have to be on your P's and Q's the next 3 weeks.
Oh, for
Yep.
sure. Yeah, that's what I said. I need top 4 at minimum, and I don't know that that's going to be good enough. So
I think for me, it's really going to depend on how Bristol goes. I think with the 9 points, if I can build a little bit more onto that, I'm hoping to at least I'm hoping to be around +15, but I know that that's real aspirational. But if I can get to there, I think then I might consider being able to lay off of it a little bit, not take as many chances. But yeah, it's really tight, and I know we make these championship 4 picks, but like we've mentioned before, there's what 7 points, 8 points separating the top or everybody but Dakota, basically. So it's not like we can make all the predictions we want, but these are 3 of the harder racetracks and the most stress-inducing time of the season. So who knows what's going to happen? Um, and I would not be shocked if we get somebody that wasn't even mentioned by anybody to make it.
Well, that's what I was just looking at. Miguel's sitting ahead of Jackson as far as
Yep,
the cut goes.
absolutely.
So Brandon's there. Like I said, we're talking about me getting another pole at Bristol, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Brandon snags the pole. I mean, he's out qualified me at Bristol the last 4 times I've raced there in the league. He needs to work on his long run speed, but I mean, that's a bonus point. And then if he finishes good, I mean, he can make up 1 or 2 points to the cut line next week. I know he's worried about Watkins Glen, but he's pretty good on the short stuff. So
now
I don't know. We'll see.
to your point, it's 16 points from Cameron to Brandon. So
Yeah, I mean it's insane. Cameron could get wrecked out at Bristol, and we're talking about a whole new top 4.
Absolutely.
Not to put
That's
that
why
on him.
I'm not
Any of
comfortable.
us could get wrecked out, and
yeah.
Yep, absolutely. It's not nobody's really safe except for we could say Dakota's safe, but I mean, we've been in races before. I will say that Dakota's either stepped on his own tail or somebody happens to wreck Dakota. I think he's going to need two of those bad races for it to even become an issue. But I wouldn't be shocked if something were to happen as well.
Well, if we keep our full field size and I finish last, I mean, you're talking 10 points behind somebody, one of us that wins. And so that makes me not safe anymore.
Hmm.
Well, and that like to not to downplay that, but like again, that's counting on not. I mean, like even if it's Brandon and he gets 10 points, that puts him at. It doesn't cut into everybody. Like
Yeah.
it cuts into you, but like we're still gonna gain. And I just don't think there's enough. If you make all 4 races or all 3 races, I think you're gonna be unless you finish 10th in all 3 races, but even then, you'd need we would need someone to win pretty much all 3 of them and dominate them from below to come get you. So
Right.
Hmm.
short of you taking a long nap or the internet misfiring at the right time, I think we can go ahead and put you in at least some ballpoint pen, not even pencil. But
Yeah. And I mean, with that too, I know that we don't want to count on internet going out or a long nap, but that's 0 points as opposed to that. So
yeah.
that's that's a big like you if that's to happen now. Um, I mean, Dakota would have to win two of the other three races probably to really be brought in because I mean, well, maybe not win two, but you're gonna have to win one of them. If your internet does go out, because then that'd be from +20 to -10.
Yeah.
So
But that's what I'm saying though. Like short of that, just
yeah,
a
exactly,
10 point, missing out on 10 points isn't the end of the world.
absolutely. Yeah.
Um,
That's why I mean it's a one race he can finish last and be completely fine, but two races is really which is asking a lot, especially if Dakota as consistent and good as he is. But that's really the only chance that we're going to see Dakota really be into anything.
yeah, for sure. Well, boys, I am looking forward to these next 3 races with you as we set up the final 4 and get ready to determine a champion.
I'm excited.
Me too.
Oh, real quick. I need to see Ed, are you still here? I'll give him a second to type. I don't know if he's still here.
While we're waiting on that, I will say just real quick, um, if we're talking about little announcements and stuff, I know me and Dakota are planning to run the 4-hour race at the Nürburgring this Saturday. So we'll try to update you guys, assuming that I don't wreck us out again. Um, we'll see if we can bring that up next week and see how that goes as well.
I just texted Ed. We'll figure that out.
Alrighty. Yeah, I guess I was gonna talk about maybe season 2, but let's finish season 1 before we start thinking about that.
Yeah, we still got a lot of stuff to iron out.
So
The only update we have for you is we're working on the schedule right now. Um,
yes,
expect that probably before this season's ends, but not anytime soon. We're not trying to rush it. We're trying to make sure we have the best season for you guys, season 2. But to recap, we are switching to the Gen 6 NASCAR Cup cars. So that'll be fun to get used to those. Um, there's going to be more changes than that. I think we voted just now to switch to a multi-race playoff too, or multi-race championship. So we'll get with you guys more as we get closer and as we iron those out among the admins here. Um, but we'll update you guys as we kind of figure that stuff out as we get closer.
I do have something we can touch on. We'll touch on it again. We don't even have a graphic for this yet. But can we pull up our standings real quick before we go?
Like these?
Like, yeah, end of season, end of the regular season. Yeah,
Regular season.
or I guess the one that shows the wing column. My bad.
Pause for let me pull that up. We're a professional show.
Yeah, come on, we're what, 5 episodes in now? 6?
I didn't know we were gonna go back to the old points after we had set the playoff field. But
I think we can go back to the old points. It looks great for me. Plus 20 in the lead. Looks
Yeah,
great.
well, this is for next season. I just
that's
needed
stats. That's
yeah,
that works.
yes, this. Okay. So we ran our all-star race last night, and we ran it at a track not a lot of people had, so we really didn't have the car count. So me and Cameron decided from here on out, starting next season, the all-star race will be at Charlotte, at least for next season, just because that's the track everybody has.
Mhm.
But moving forward, it can be voted on after next year. Next year's just going to be, or next season's just going to be Charlotte. It can be voted on after that. Anyway, all of our winners from here. So that'll be me through Griffin. Everybody that has a win here is locked in to the All-Star race. That's six drivers, and it can change before the All-Star race. But as of now, you have 6 drivers that are locked in to next season's All-Star race. And the 6 of us, if no one else wins the race, will run a pole shootout. So we'll run a 10-lap heat at the start of that session to set up who starts in the top 6. Now, people win races at the beginning of next year and of this year. It'll add to that number. But regardless, anybody with wins will take up the first half of the grid, and then everybody else will race their way in. But these guys are locked. So
I know that this is real early, so we'll remind you guys about that as it gets closer, because we're going to have a slightly longer season next year too. So it's going to, not only is it out into the future with it just being in a different season, but it's also going to be further along there. So I don't expect anybody to remember that, but we will remind you, everybody, as it gets closer and as we get going into the second season. But not to take away from this season, we're looking forward to it and hoping we can end things the right way with some good racing and see who the best driver is that'll come out on top.
Yeah, and just touching on the schedule a little bit more. We kind of have a feel for what we want for the next year, but if there's a track that you feel strongly about, pitch it in the general chat, and we'll either put it up for a poll or we'll have a discussion about it. So
Yep.
we're trying to fill out that schedule. Like was mentioned, it's a little bit longer of a schedule, so we got a couple openings that we're working through what we want to do.
I know that there will be another poll up here once we, among the admins, can talk, and we'll have some community voted tracks. So if there's a track that you want, even if we don't lock it in before those polls, we'll definitely look at putting it into those polls as well. So stay tuned for that. We want to have you guys involved when we pick some of those tracks as well. And if I will say, if your track that you really want in it isn't in that poll, if it's especially if it's like a common track like a Charlotte, Daytona, it's most likely on the rest of the schedule. We not sure when we're going to release that, but don't completely freak out if a track you really want isn't on that poll. It's likely on the rest of the schedule.
No, Griffin. No.
No.
Bad Griffin.
Bad.
Go back to watching your Jays.
I'm sure somewhere else you got to be.
Dakota, did you ever find what you needed, or?
I think so. I think we're just going to have a little
you're
admin
good.
discussion after this, I believe.
Okay. We are we're at 2 hours here, so
Yep.
I think we need to wrap this sucker up.
Yep.
We are done.
Absolutely not.
Center.
Absolutely
Okay.
not, Miguel.
Hey, I'm not. One thing I will say is me and Dakota have discussed it. That's all I'm gonna leave. We'll leave it there. We have
Yeah,
discussed it.
everyone.
Uh, well,
Can I
I
say?
had a blast with this. It was fun talking to all the guys. So glad we were able to get everybody in, and like I said, hopefully we'll be able to do something like this again, maybe with the Champ 4 guys. But anyone got anything as we wrap up here?
No, I appreciate all the guys showing up and making this a good time tonight, and I'm looking forward to running the playoffs.
All I got is looking forward to the playoffs. Wish me luck not to smack the wall this weekend in the Nürburgring and piss off Dakota again.
Good times.
Yeah, well, just Dakota, you know what you got to do? You got to get to a 2 or 3 lap lead instead of 1.5. So
Yeah, they
That's
kicked me
on
up
you,
here.
Right.
Well, we had
honestly.
2 laps. We had 2 laps
That's-
before.
that's
It's really
my
on Dakota. You should have known that we needed 3 or 4 laps.
yeah, that's that's a you problem, dog. Yeah, just to reiterate, I'm really looking forward to these next 3 races and battling it out that on the cut line, trying to figure out who's gonna beat Dakota at Homestead for the title.
I'll beat myself. Is what'll happen.
Nice. Counts the same.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys next week to recap Bristol and just kind of maybe have a little bit more of an idea how this playoffs is going to go. So I'll see everybody on Monday and we'll talk to you next Wednesday.
Peace out.
Peace.